It started with a towed Corone tire barely over a painted line and inside, a 6-month-old baby, still strapped in her car seat. The HOA president, Richard Grayson, didn't apologize. He shrugged it off, claiming they weren't accountable for what was inside the vehicle. But Emily Carter, the baby's mother, wasn't just furious. She had the truth on her side and a burning resolve to take on a system that put rules above human lives. What happened next was a story that didn't just unfold, it exploded, proving that justice doesn't always knock politely. Sometimes it kicks the door down. The day began like any other, creeping in with deceptive calm. Emily had been up since 4:40 a.m., not by choice but because her daughter, Lily, wouldn't settle. The 6-month-old fussed through the early hours, rejecting bottles and napping in fits interrupted by sharp cries. Emily's husband, Matt, had left for his hospital shift an hour earlier, pressing a quick kiss to her forehead as she cradled Lily in bed. The sky outside was a faint mix of gold and gray. Exhausted, Emily moved through their townhouse like a shadow, her mind clouded by sleeplessness but her hands steady on autopilot. Diaper change, formula warming, a clean onesie, a forced smiley face in an email to her boss. By 7:05 a.m., barefoot and juggling Lily, her keys, her phone, and a cooling coffee she kept forgetting to sip, she stepped outside. The plan was straightforward. Buckle Lily into her car seat, start the engine, let the AC cool things down while she dashed back inside for the bottle she'd left on the counter. 2 minutes, tops. She parked in her usual spot right outside their home, the same one she'd used since moving in. Recently, the HOA had painted a thin white line to mark legal parking zones, and Emily's front tire might have edged over it by a few inches. She didn't dwell on it, pajamas on, baby hungry. Bigger things loomed than a paint stripe. She secured Lily's car seat with a familiar click. The baby was quieting, drifting off to the hum of the engine and the cool air from the vents. Emily adjusted the sunshade, kissed Lily's forehead, locked the doors with a beep, and jogged back inside. She grabbed the bottle, checked its warmth, and glanced at her phone. One text from Matt. "How's our little princess?" She smiled briefly, a flicker of calm. Then she stepped outside, and the car was gone. Her brain stalled, refusing to process the empty driveway. No broken glass, no open door, no engine fading away, just silence on a suburban street. Birds chirping, sprinklers ticking, the sun climbing as if nothing was wrong. She blinked, heart sinking. "Lily," she whispered, then shouted, "Lily." The bottle slipped from her hand, rolling across the pavement. Her scream split the morning as she stumbled forward, searching frantically, dialing 911 with clumsy, trembling fingers. "My baby, me daughter, she was in the car, and it's gone. I left for 2 minutes, gone. Please, please." A neighbor across the street stepped out, frowning. "Wasn't there a tow truck here earlier?" he asked casually. Emily froze. "A tow truck?" she echoed, voice faint. The realization hit, not a kidnapping, but her own neighborhood had taken her child, and no one had bothered to check the back seat. Her scream wasn't human, it was raw, primal, shattering the stillness. Dogs barked. Neighbors peered out. She collapsed, knees scraping the gravel through her thin pajamas, dialing 911 again, sobbing. "My baby was in the car. Someone took her, please." The neighbor's words sank in. A tow truck. The HOA. Her parking spot. They hadn't looked. They'd towed Lily away. Matt arrived as the dispatcher confirmed the car's location in impound lot. He burst through the door in scrubs, face ashen. After Emily's choked call, they towed her with Lily. They sped off, Emily clutching the passenger door, whispering Lily's name like a lifeline. Matt's silence was tight, his grip on the wheel rigid. The lot was a grim sprawl of cars behind a rusted fence. They didn't wait, they stormed the office. "Our car was towed 30 minutes ago," Matt said, breathless. "There's a baby in the back seat." The clerk froze mid-bite, fumbling for her radio. "Charlie, Lot 9, open the gray SUV now. They say there's a baby inside." They ran. Emily spotted the SUV, windows fogged, engine off. Matt yanked the locked door. Emily pounded the glass, crying, "Lily, mommy's here." A faint cry answered, hoarse, desperate. A worker fumbled with keys, unlocked it, and there was Lily, red-faced, sweat-soaked, trembling in her car seat, screaming through heat and terror. Emily unbuckled her, pulling her close. Lily clung like she'd never let go. Matt stood stunned, hand over his mouth. 40 minutes, nearly 40 minutes in a baking car, unnoticed by the tow driver, the lot crew, anyone. Just a parking violation. A line crossed. A baby reduced to nothing. Later, the driver admitted, "I didn't check. The HOA just said tow it." Rage replaced Emily's panic cold, sharp, focused. She demanded a meeting with the HOA. Richard Grayson, retired engineer and HOA president, sat behind a table stacked with bylaws, flanked by board members, his face blank. Emily, with Lily strapped to her chest, spoke evenly. "You towed my car without checking inside. She's 6 months old, 30 minutes in 90-degree heat." Grayson nodded once. "Your vehicle OLAT section 4.2 street obstruction. We'll pass the line." Silence. "Why didn't anyone look?" she pressed. "Zero tolerance policy," he replied. "Exceptions weaken enforcement." Emily stared. "You towed a baby." He didn't flinch. "We're not responsible for what's inside. That's on you." Those words calm, mechanical echoed later in court, a chilling emblem of a system blind to humanity. Lily survived, physically unscathed, but the aftermath lingered. She startled at noises, clung to Emily, slept fitfully. Emily and Matt fractured quietly, Matt skipping shifts, rocking Lily in silence. Emily replaying those 2 minutes endlessly. But beneath the guilt, resolve grew. No more silence. No more rules over lives. Detective Sarah Holt, a seasoned child protection officer, took the case. The HOA's cold, not responsible line gnawed at her. She dug in towel logs, security footage, ER records, building a case of negligence by design. Charges followed: child endangerment against the driver, criminal negligence against Grayson. In court, the defense blamed Emily, but the prosecution dismantled them. A baby was towed, the DA said, because a tire crossed a line and no one cared to look. Guilty. Grayson got probation. The tow company lost its license. Justice breathed. Emily stayed, turning pain into action. She rallied neighbors, exposed the HOA's overreach, and sparked a revolution. Meetings grew, bylaws shifted, Grayson resigned. The white line remained, but now it marked Chanhae, a reminder that rules don't outweigh mercy. Standing there with Lily, giggling in her arms, Emily knew she'd fought not just for her daughter, but for every voice silenced by painted lines. And she'd won.